Hello, this is day 31. You've officially been reading for 1 month, one canto of the Divine Comedy every single day. Congratulations. This is Canto 31 of Inferno, which I will read first and then give some brief comments. One and the self-same tongue first wounded me, so that it tinged the one cheek and the other, and then held out to me the medicine. Thus do I hear that once Achilles' spear, his and his father's, used to be the cause first of a sad and then a gracious boon. We turned our backs upon the wretched valley, upon the bank that girds it round about, going across it without any speech. There it was less than night and less than day, so that my sight went little in advance, but I could hear the blare of a loud horn, so loud it would have made each thunder faint, which, counter to it following its way, mine eyes directed wholly to one place. After the dolorous discomfiture when Charlemagne the holy emprise lost, so terribly Orlando sounded not. Short while my head turned thitherward, I held when many lofty towers I seemed to see, whereat I, Master, say, what town is this? And he to me, because thou peerest forth athwart the darkness at too great a distance, it happens that thou errest in thy fancy. We shalt thou see, if thou arrivest there, how much the sense deceives itself by distance. Therefore a little faster spur thee on. Then tenderly he took me by the hand, and said, Before we farther have advanced, that the reality may seem to thee less strange, know that these are not towers, but giants, and they are in the well around the bank, from navel downward, one and all of them. As, when the fog is vanishing away, little by little doth the sight refigure whate'er the mist that crowds the air conceals, so, piercing through the dense and darksome air, more and more near approaching toward the verge, my error fled, and fear came over me. Because as on its circular parapets Monteregione crowns itself with towers, e'en thus the margin which surrounds the well, with one half of their bodies turreted, the horrible giants, whom Jove menaces e'en now from out the heavens when he thunders. And I, of one already saw the face, shoulders, breast, and great part of the belly, and down along his sides both of the arms. Certainly nature, when she left the making of animals like these, did well indeed, by taking such executors from Mars. And if of elephants and whales she doth not repent her, whosoever looketh subtly more just and more discreet will hold her for it. For where the argument of intellect is added unto evil will and power, no rampart can the people make against it. His face appeared to me as long and large as is at Rome the pine cone of St. Peter's, and in proportion were the other bones. So that the margin, which an apron was down from the middle, showed so much of him above it, that to reach up to his hair 3 Frieslanders in vain had vaunted them. For I beheld 30 great palms of him down from the place where man his mantle buckles. Raphael mai amek izabi almi, began to clamor the ferocious mouth, to which were not befitting sweeter psalms. And unto him, my guide, Soul idiotic, keep to thy horn, and vent thyself with that. When wrath or other passion touches thee, search round thy neck, and thou wilt find the belt which keeps it fastened, O bewildered soul, and see it where it bars thy mighty breast. Then said to me, He doth himself accuse. This one is Nimrod, by whose evil thought one language in the world is not still used. Here let us leave him, and not speak in vain. For even such to him is every language, as his to others, which to none is known. Therefore a longer journey did we make, turned to the left, and a crossbow shot oft we found another far more fierce and large. In binding him, who might the master be, I cannot say, but he had pinioned close behind the right arm, and in front the other, with chains, that held him so begirt about from the neck down, that on the part uncovered it wound itself as far as the 5th gyre. This proud one wished to make experiment of his own power against the supreme Jove, my leader said, whence he has such a guerdon. Ephialtes is his name. He showed great prowess. What time the giants terrified the gods, the arms he wielded nevermore he moves. And I to him, If possible, I should wish that of the measureless Briareus these eyes of mine might have experience. Whence he replied, Thou shalt behold Antaeus close by here, who can speak and is unbound, who at the bottom of all crime shall place us. Much farther yon is he whom thou wouldst see, and he is bound, and fashioned like to this one, save that he seems in aspect more ferocious. There never was an earthquake of such might that it could shake a tower so violently as Ephialtes suddenly shook himself. Then was I more afraid of death than ever, for nothing more was needful than the fear, if I had not beheld the manacles. Then we proceeded farther in advance, and to Antaeus came, who, full 5 ells without the head, forth issued from the cavern. O thou, who in the valley fortunate, which Scipio the heir of glory made, when Hannibal turned back with all his hosts, once brought'st 1,000 lions for thy prey, and who, hadst thou been at the mighty war among thy brothers, some it seems still think the sons of earth the victory would have gained. Place us below, nor be disdainful of it, there where the cold doth lock Cocytus up. Make us not go to Titius or Typhoeus, this one can give of that which here is longed for. Therefore stoop down, and do not curl thy lip. Still in the world can he restore thy fame, because he lives, and still expects long life, if to itself grace call him not untimely. So said the master, and in haste the other his hands extended and took up my guide, hands whose great pressure Hercules once felt. Virgilius, when he felt himself embraced, said unto me, Draw nigh, that I may take thee. Then of himself and me one bundle made. As seems the Caracenda to behold beneath the leaning side, when goes a cloud above it, so that opposite it hangs, such did Antaeus seem to me, who stood watching to see him stoop, and then it was I could have wished to go some other way. But lightly in the abyss, which swallows up Judas with Lucifer, he put us down, nor thus bowed downward made he there delay, but, as a mast does in a ship, uprose. Story-wise, this is a transitional canto, wherein Dante and Virgil leave the Malebolgia and move on into the 9th circle of hell. But this place that they find themselves in is not transitional in and of itself. To me, it seems to have a real, tangible theme. Obviously, it's populated with giants. They're all standing in this giant well, and we can only see from their waists up. And a lot of them have names. Many of them are actually from Greek mythology. And if you pay attention to the identities of these giants, that is what clued me into what the theme for this particular canto was, for this circle, if you will, or even the beginning of this circle. It's pride. Now, Dante represents fraud as an extremely bad sin, of course, and it is, but traditionally, pride is considered even worse, and indeed the first of the sins. In the Garden of Eden, the devil tempts Adam and Eve by saying, you shall be as gods if you eat the fruit. And if you look at all of the identities of the giants, they are all those who challenged the gods in their own way. Briareus, he rose up against Zeus and the other deities. There are other titans in there, the previous generation of gods that fought against the Olympian ones. Typhon is mentioned, who was a great monster titan who also fought against the gods. And most notable, at least to me, is Nimrod, who is a biblical figure, but he wasn't a giant in the Bible. He was just responsible for building the Tower of Babel, which, yes, in itself was an act of pride, and he's marked by his babbling speech to have definitely been the one to have done it. If you remember the story, once the people build the Tower of Babel, they are struck by God such that they are not able to understand each other's speech anymore. And because of that, they couldn't work together anymore. All of their pride in being able to work together so that they could build this enormous tower going all the way up to heaven, and it was taken apart by something so simple as changing language. They thought they were all powerful. They thought they could reach God, as all giants perhaps might, but they were undone by something so simple. It's the fact that Nimrod is represented as a giant here that also kind of clued me into this. Antaeus, or Antaeus, the giant who actually helps them get down the well into the frozen lake of Cocytus. He was a wrestler in Greek mythology who challenged everybody who passed by to wrestle him. He was so proud of his abilities, he wanted to test himself against everyone, constantly. But it's not just the identities of these giants. It's not even the fact that they are giants, these large beings who are obviously extremely powerful and believe themselves to be such. All the giants have been undone. As Dante says, nature, when she cast away the mold for shaping beasts like these, without a doubt did well, depriving Mars, war, of more such agents. For when the faculty of intellect is joined with brute force and with evil will, no man can win against such an alliance. So with those three things, with an intellect, with a will, and an incredible strength, a giant is the worst that a person can be. And so it's very fitting that they're all very proud. Another note on Antaeus, Virgil has to bribe him, not with any money or anything else. He says, please, pick us up and put us down there because Dante here can sing your praises when he gets back onto Earth. Your fame will spread. He offers him fame. He strokes his pride. That's what convinces him. Some of the comparisons that Dante makes have to do with pride too. He talks about the Song of Roland. If you don't know, in the Song of Roland, Roland was guarding Charlemagne's flank on his way back from fighting in Spain when he's attacked by a Saracen force. And instead of blowing the horn and letting everybody know that they were under attack, he doesn't. He's so proud, he's so sure that he can defeat them all with no problem that he doesn't blow the horn and ask for help until his extermination is imminent. And finally, all these giants, who probably thought so greatly of themselves with their great strength and intellect combined together in one beast, who stood so high, are now thrown so low, down to the very bottom of hell. But not quite the bottom of hell, because they're not even the main event of the bottom of hell. They're just in passing. Dante and Virgil are just passing them by on their way to the actual worst souls in hell. So if that's not a contrapasso, I'm not sure what is. That's all for today. I'll see you tomorrow.